San Antonio global listeners. Oh, yes, yes, yes. I'm with my big sister now. I'm talking about none other than Nina Taylor, all the way from San Antonio to Ohio. Nina,
What's
how been
up?
doing?
How you doing?
I mean, my sister, we every time we get together, it's awesome and amazing.
Absolutely is. It's been a while too, hasn't it?
We got good weather up here in San Antonio. What's it like in Ohio?
Well, for the last, though, it's been a rainy, wet weekend. It's been warm, but it's been raining. So it's been wet. It's supposed to go away by Tuesday. So we'll see. We'll see.
Hey, what we gonna talk about? What we gonna talk about?
Well, we
Oh,
used to have a show. We had a regular show where you were telling the men to get it together. You, have they gotten it together yet?
and hey, husband and wives, let's
Yes.
get it. You know, and getting it together. Because many people are going through some changes. You got financial changes. You got age changes.
Yeah.
Uh, but we got to get it together. Now, coming from you,
Mhm.
a woman always say it's the man that got to get it together.
Well, a lot of times it is, but women have to get it together too. I think one thing that I've been noticing is that there seems to be this female entitlement thing going on
Uh-oh.
where and everybody says this is a new millennium thing. I'm old school. Yes, I'm definitely old school, but I believe in I think one of the questions that people are being told to ask men these days is, do you believe in 50-50? Like we split all the bills 50-50, all the responsibility for the house, everything 50-50, the housework, everything 50-50. What when I was married, we did not have 50-50. He took care of all the house bills. I took care of the cars, the insurance. I bought all the food. Um, I wouldn't say it was 50-50 because we did have a very expensive payment every month. Um, but that's what he wanted. He wanted to be the one to take care of the major responsibilities like paying for the house, paying for the utilities, all that. I bought the food, I bought his clothes, he was one of those that, t-shirt and jeans and I'm out, and I said, we have got to do better. So I started, buying him suits and, he looked pretty sharp. Everybody was saying, oh, since he got married, I'm not gonna say his name. Since he got married, he looks so sharp now. I'm like, well, just new clothes, go to the barbershop every week. Whereas before, he was a musician. So you know how they could be. It's all about the music and nothing else. So
Right.
so that kind of thing. So yeah, we did. I took care of the cars and the insurance and myself, of course. And he took care of all the responsibilities for the house. So was it 50-50? I'd say no. I'd say it wasn't. But I also saved for our vacations and did some investing and stuff like that that benefited us both. So I worked every day. So and we both had a business. So I wouldn't say it was 50-50. I would say the bulk of responsibility was on him.
But what it sounded like I had was a little communication.
Yeah, 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 it was good.
That enhances the going forward,
Mhm.
when there's communication.
Yeah.
But with new generation, it's not about communication.
Mhm. I would say it's not. Did you see the video where the girl, it was her birthday, and so a guy says, "Hey, I'm gonna take you out for your birthday." Well, she shows up with a friend of hers, and I guess he was on the way. They got there first, and he had actually walked in and they had already ordered. They had hors d'oeuvres and drinks and all this stuff. And she said, "Yeah, this is my friend." He said, "Well, I didn't know, you were bringing your friend." And the bottom line was they expected him to take care of the bill for all of them. She said, "Well, you were going to take care of mine, right? Well, this is my best friend, and I want her here, so you have to pay for hers too." And you see a lot of videos like that where a woman is showing up with like a whole tribe of people and is saying, "And he's paying," So I don't get that.
See, that sounds like that's something that you would see on a movie. Yeah.
Apparently, I guess it was real, but still, there's this entitlement thing like, oh, if you want me, you gotta have some money and you gotta do this, you gotta do that. And I don't recall at that age even thinking like that.
Well, and again, we're living in a new time, different
Mhm.
age. Because I
Yeah.
mean, like, my wife and I, we were at the store the other day,
Mhm.
and I asked her if she would pay for this for me. She said, "You the man, you should have been paying for mine." I'm like,
Whoop.
hold up. I thought, it was
We're a
50-50.
team.
We do for each other. But I mean, but so many times, that becomes a big issue when it's really a small issue. It's really a small matter, you
Mhm.
know. And when and now we take something that small and
Mhm.
make it that big. You know,
Yeah.
huh? Well, I thought what you should have. When okay, baby, it's cool. Not a problem. You know, but we we kind of like take it out of line sometimes. We kind of like take it on. I mean, I know you talking about the women, but I mean, I got to speak up for the man. I mean, yeah, we get a little bit out of line. But one of the biggest problems in a lot of relationships is the lack of communication. Sitting down together,
Yeah.
talking things out. And when it comes to managing the bills, well, see, it sounds like you had it all together, you know.
When it came to all that stuff, absolutely. He just, we were on a budget, so he would take X amount of dollars for uh his lunch every day, and that was pretty much it. Like I said, most of ours stayed in the bank. It wasn't like anybody was carrying around any gobs of money or anything like that. I remember once we were because he was a musician at church, and I worked in the sound room. He sent me a note saying, send me, it was like $20, 30, something small. Send me $20. And I didn't say what for or anything. I didn't go into this big deal. He said, send me $20. And so I just gave the person that he sent up there the $20. And, later on, I found out that he was actually loaning it. He was giving it to someone else. He just said, send me a note, said, send me $20. Because if anybody had cash on them, it would have been me, not him. So,
But we brothers don't do that too much these days. Uh, we try to keep the money. We try to keep the money, but
just saying, just like somebody carrying money to church, that would have been me and not him. We did our tithing, by envelope and by check back then, So, it's like who has cash?
but technically, when it really comes down to it, who handles the money better, the
Yeah.
woman, man?
I think I did. I did.
Okay, and I mean,
It
those
depends
are
on because some women are like, oh, I don't want nothing to do with all that. And some men do take care of everything. I think, yeah. I mean, we had one account and we both had an account, plus we had our bill account, and he deposited the money in the bill account, and then he had his personal, and so did I. So, and I was usually the one that paid the bills, but definitely put all the money in there.
okay. Well, I mean,
Mhm.
but you were the best one to handle it.
Yeah.
talking to I was talking to I had this meeting with pastors, and I was talking. We were there in LA, and we were online talking, and he admitted
Hmm.
he takes good care of his wife.
Yeah.
His wife takes good care of him.
Yeah.
He bought some cologne.
Yeah.
His wife didn't like it,
She didn't like the cologne.
the cologne, so
Uh-huh.
she bought him cologne. So I had to stop and say, "Wait a minute, Pastor.
Uh-huh.
That cologne costs $89 or $90."
Really? Uh-huh.
But he stopped and said, he said, "Well, to keep peace in your home
Yeah. Uh-huh.
for $89." He said, "Now I don't even have to worry about cologne.
Yeah.
She buys the cologne.
Uh-huh.
He helps, you know, she takes good care of him.
Yeah. I
You
would
know,
say I did too. Absolutely.
and that's what it's going to take for a woman
Hmm.
treated well by a man, not being cussed on, fussed on. She's going
Hmm.
to take care of the man.
Yeah.
Likewise,
Hmm.
and goes for the woman. If the woman's not fussing, fighting,
Hmm.
because women fight too.
Yes, we do. Absolutely.
I used to work for the sheriff's department. Morning, couldn't believe I saw this big old woman on this skinny man on his shoulders, hitting him upside the head.
Wow.
you know, I'm like, uh-uh. But then again, too, when I lived in Dallas, a brother was telling me that he had to get a divorce because his wife always wanted to fight. Why y'all do stuff like that?
I don't know. Maybe she came from a home with, she had eight brothers and they were, trying to teach her to be tough. I don't know. Some women are violent. Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I watch a lot of videos because I'm always looking for news. And I've seen some where the police were talking to a couple at the door. Somebody had called the police because they heard a ruckus. They're like, something's going on over there. So while they were standing in the door, she had on a slip. He had on some shorts, and he was like, it got, my wife gets loud. He was trying to explain calmly, and he said the wrong thing right there in front of the cops, and she went bam in his head. They arrested, they arrested her on the spot, and they were like, "It's not okay to hit him in the head like that." He said, "Oh, I'm okay." I said, "See, he's used to it, so you know."
No, 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 no,
Yeah.
no. San Antonio, Ohio. Those of you that are listening, hey, if you haven't figured it out yet, my name is James Lockhart, right here in the city of San Antonio. And
Yeah.
this is Nina Taylor, who holds one of the hottest radio programming out that comes on. She's everywhere. She's not only on Rhema Gospel Express, or should I say Rhema Gospel Express.org radio and Rhema Global SA Ministries, but she's over 3,000 radio stations across the United States. Am I saying that right?
Uh, not across the United States, but around the world. And
I got to
uh,
squeeze in
yeah,
there.
it's 20 countries to be specific, 20 countries. And no, it's not over 3,000 yet.
And what we're talking about is let's get it together.
Yeah.
Men, women, let's get it together. We all have had some type of past. Now, uh, I want to ask you a question, man.
Okay.
Relationships.
Hmm.
You've had a bad relationship with this man. You're going into another relationship.
Hmm.
Why is it that what you what one experience in one relationship, why are you going to carry it into a new relationship and look for the same thing?
Well, that's just the thing. You shouldn't carry the old stuff. If you're not ready to let the old stuff go, you should probably wait to go into another relationship until all that all that baggage can be put away. Because it's not fair to the person, it's not fair to you. How can you move on if you're still carrying that load, still carrying all that stuff? Everybody's different, and where you may see some similarities in people, that doesn't mean that you're going to experience the same thing with the next person. And then again, maybe it is. Maybe you're attracted to those narcissistic types. But either way, I think the baggage should stay wherever it needs to stay, and you should move on. If you can't do that, you should probably wait to get into another relationship.
Now, I don't know if this fits into that line that I'm speaking of, but when I was single,
Mhm.
uh, I called a young lady and asked her, I need some shoes for my job.
Mhm.
And we went to the mall. And I was sitting there, and after I got the shoes, she got hot at me because, and what
It's
she
a lot.
heard, she got hot. She was mad. And
Wow.
I'm like, what? She said, you should have gave me some money so I could have went and bought me a dress or bought something. But you should have gave me some money while you over here getting your
Right.
shoes.
Yeah.
Like, all you had to do
Oh,
was
so
just say,
you pay for your own shoes.
I got the money. That's gonna come along with me. I was gonna surprise her.
Yeah. Well,
You
see,
know,
that's that entitlement thing that I'm talking about again. Everybody is so hyped on, telling the man that you're the provider. You're the one that's supposed to provide everything. And yes, that is true. You're the provider, you're the head of the household and all that. But that's what I was talking about, this entitlement thing where, hey, we're at a mall. You need to be buying me something. Uh And see, it's crazy because I told somebody, please don't buy me nothing because you're just going to buy me something that I don't want. And since you're bringing it from out of town, I'm not going to be able to return it. So if you must give me something for Christmas, my birthday, whatever, just give me a gift card or cash.
let's say I've learned if my wife buy me something today, and if I don't like it, if I don't, I mean, really care for it, I'll
Uh-huh.
go. I'm like, baby, thank you. Oh, I love this.
Yeah.
Because
And that's what I probably would have done too. But, let's be real. I mean, I don't know. The only person who can really buy me anything is like my sisters, because they know what I like. Whenever a man has bought me something, it's like, really, are you kidding me? And I didn't say a word. I said, oh, thank you. And that's his fine jewelry. I'm just gonna take it back.
and brothers, I want to share something with you. I made the biggest mistake in my life
Uh-huh.
when I was in my 20s. I bought this young lady a ring. I spent $65 for the ring from the pawn shop.
Okay. Was it real
Okay.
gold?
Well, let me tell you. She
Okay.
wore that ring for 2 weeks and it didn't fit.
Oh, okay. Hmm.
Okay. And then one Saturday she said, let's go and get it tightened up to fit. So my mistake, number one, was I should have bought her another ring before because I knew
Hmm.
that it wasn't real.
Yeah.
When we got to the pawn shop, the man said no. He
Yeah.
said, if I this is gonna melt if I try to,
Try to
and
size it. Yeah.
and then it came out of his mouth, this isn't even real. And she looked at me and I'm like, hold up, man,
Oh, wait, what?
to me. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
she threw the ring at me and walked out the door.
Wow. Well, it wasn't an engagement ring or anything like that. It was just a gift, right?
It's a gift.
They have very fine costume jewelry. You just say, hey, this is just a little something I picked up. It's not real. That's what I would have just told her just from the beginning. It's like, hey, don't be putting no sanitizer on your hands while you got this ring.
Again, I gotta say my mistake because I didn't tell her it
Yeah,
was a costume jewelry or
yeah,
nothing.
yeah.
But
She thought it was real. It must have looked very nice. So,
but On the top note, brothers, go by Sears, go by a jewelry store. If
Mhm.
it's $125,
Mhm.
at least let it be a small diamond that's real.
Yeah, I mean, at least try to get some real gold or something. Because if you're going to give someone a gift like that, you want something that they can wear all the time and, wash their hands without worry. You know, I like costume jewelry, you know, but when it starts to turn green, then you just throw it away. When your finger turns green, it's time to throw it away, But I wouldn't appreciate if somebody else gave it to me,
Yeah. Can I be a little messy right here? Nina Taylor is single. If if you a good man
Mhm.
and you know how to treat a woman,
Oh my,
Nina, she's good people.
I
And
hear
if you buy her something, find out what she likes first because she will tell you. I'm saying this. I'm using you as an example,
Yeah, I
but
mean that comes with getting to know a person. It's just getting to know them, and then you'll know what they like or what they don't like. Usually, I'm not gonna say I haven't been with anyone long enough to get to that point, but over time you do. You can just kind of know uh what the person's likes and dislikes are. You do.
okay. Now, Nina, with all that you do, let's talk a little bit about you. Let's talk a little bit about you. You're over 20 countries, and you keep music popping. Every time I listen to somebody else's station, you're on somebody else's station. You know, I'm like, I mean, if it's night, day, boom. I
Excuse
mean,
me there. Well, we aggressively have, gone after many stations over the years. The Gospel News, which has been around since 2012, which started on your station, on your show in San Antonio. And since then, it's just grown. Now, if anything's on over 2,000 stations, it's my news. And see, people are hearing my voice and they think it's, my show. My show isn't on all those stations. No, my show is only on almost 800 stations, but the news you can find everywhere. I get calls all the time from relatives and like, hey, I was driving down the street and I heard you on the radio. And I said, was I playing music or was I just talking? Yeah, I did talking, so they're hearing the news. But yeah, so
but
God has been very good to me and has blessed me to have such a great thing to go all over the world like that. I appreciate it.
you have Gospel Express,
Yes,
you have the Gospel News,
yes.
but now you have
The
what is it?
gospel
Jazz late at
countdown.
night.
No, 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 no. That's something that I do for a local station is a jazz show, which I have to record that too. It's just impossible for me to be able to sit down and do a live show. Occasionally, I do a live show on Sunday morning. Like I said, these are for local stations here in Ohio, and the jazz show is on in Ohio as well. But I just do that just for them. It's not
Now,
anything. Yeah.
I'm trying to be like you, but it's hard because you work, you teach children during the day,
Yes, I am a teacher during the day. Mhm.
to do all of this.
Huh? What? How do you do it? You have to have a really good schedule when you're working two jobs, three jobs, working a job and a gig, working a job, have a business. You have to have a really strict schedule. Of course, I'm at school just for another 7 weeks, and then we'll be finished for the summer. But when I do have school, I come home. I have specific days and times that I record all the shows, which I record now 5 shows per week. Well, 4 shows plus the news. So I'm doing 5 recordings weekly, and you just have to stay on a strict schedule. I'm interviewing. I only interview now 2 nights a week. I'm in charge of the gospel part of Urban Influencers. So I have that on Mondays. So that takes up my Mondays. But in between there, I can still do an interview if need be. Most people don't like to do anything on Monday, but we do things with Urban Influencers on Monday. If you want to report, you can certainly send those to me, and that helps to promote your station and your show on an international level. So you can send those reports in, your top 5 indie songs, and we will publish it for you to our
Okay.
millions and millions of followers.
Do you just deal with national people? Because you,
No, it's
I
indie
mean, you
artists.
got Kirk Franklin, Fred Hammonds, the
You mean for
Weed
my show?
on your show. I mean, you be
Oh
interviewing.
yeah, yeah. I do. I interview everybody, anybody and everybody. I've interviewed, major movie stars. I've interviewed major gospel artists. Yeah, I do indie artists. I love breaking new artists. That's one of my favorite things to do is to introduce somebody to the world, and then, like 6 months, a year later, they blowing up. You know, I love that, and it's like I was one of the first ones to put you out there. Yes, so I enjoy that. I enjoy it.
Now, listen to what she just said. Listen to what she just said. She said, if you get in contact with her
Mhm.
within 3 to 4 months, you're going to blow up.
I did not say that. I
So
said,
you want
I
to get
watched
in
them
touch with
blow up.
her.
I said, I've watched several people that I interviewed way back when, and now look at them. They're huge. They're doing great things. They got hits, and just saying, gosh, I had him on my show 3 years ago. So this is another thing that I'm really proud about. But yeah, you can contact me by way of my website at msninataylor.com. You can send your music, submit music. I do program several radio stations, and uh, love to help you out.
Okay. Now we're gonna switch back.
Mhm.
What you want to talk about? Let's get it together. Now we know that you're a single woman,
Yeah.
but for a husband and a wife who want to work together, if it's in the music industry or whatever
Mhm.
industry that they want to move in and working together, because nowadays you got to have two jobs pretty much.
You do.
Somebody has to have 2 jobs in
Mhm.
order for things to happen. What would you say would be the best way for a husband and wife to be able to move forward in the direction that they desire to go in?
Well, both, I use my ex-husband as an example because we both worked every day, and we had a business, and we also were involved in music. So we had that common interest. So I took over the management of his band, and we were rocking and rolling, rocking and rolling. We were doing some good things. I think you all having a common interest is something that you could do together. And if you also want to try and make money from it, it's a great thing because, like you said, these days couples have to have a job. Both of them have to work. You got to have a gig. It's like you got to have all this extra stuff going on in order just to be able to maintain your household. So it's a great thing. I loved working with my significant other, with my husband. I did. We had some good times doing it.
Okay. Now, San Antonio global listeners, once again, you're talking to Nina Taylor. And hey, I invite you every Saturday and Sunday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Mhm.
Tune in to Nina Taylor on Rhema Global SAMinistries.org radio. And if you listen to gospel music, you liable to turn the channel on because she's everywhere. She's everywhere, all across the United States and other countries.
Yeah.
And once again, Nina, share with them your social sites.
Yeah, all my social media sites are on the first page of my website. Again, that's msninataylor.com. Now, how can they connect with you?
It Rhema, RHDMA Global SA Ministries.org radio. Hey, everything is there. What we do, how we do, reaching
Hmm.
out. And if you are an indie artist,
Hmm.
national artist, send me your email, send me your EPK. I will get back in touch with you to Rhema, RHEMA, Gospel Express .san at gmail.com. This is how we do it. From San Antonio to Nina Taylor. Nina Taylor, in closing words.
No, I just thank you again. We gotta we can't let this much time go by before we speak again. All right. Okay, and that's on you, not me.
I do confess, but hey, everything I'm doing today, to look up to her because she taught me. She taught me. And that's one thing about a woman. When you're single, because we started out talking when I was single.
Yeah.
And and entered into a good
I was just single since
relationship.
I've been single about 9 months.
But she's strict though. She's
Yeah.
strict. But I love her. I love her dearly. Hey, Nina, close us out if you will.
All right. I thank you. I thank everyone for checking us out again. You can get in contact with him via rhemagospelradio.com and me at msninataylor.com. All right.
This is
Thank
how we
you.
do it. I